Every day, Albertans turn on their taps expecting clean, safe drinking water. But where does that water come from? For most communities, it's rivers, lakes, or groundwater, what we call source water. Keeping that source water clean isn't just about treating it at the plant. It's about protecting it upstream before it ever reaches your tap. When source water is compromised, it can cost more to treat, put public health at risk, or impact the supply of water. Having knowledge of what activities on the landscape impact your source water is essential to maintaining or improving water quality and quantity. And that is what source water protection is about. It's a process of identifying and assessing risks and determining how to manage them. Risks to source water could include land use changes, industrial activities, changing climate patterns, and more. To determine the potential impacts, you need data on these risks, and then to analyze that data and interpret it. As you can imagine, completing all these steps can be costly and time-consuming. This is a challenge especially for smaller drinking water providers who may be short on staff, technical expertise, and resources. The challenge is, how do we make source water protection accessible to all drinking water providers, regardless of size or capacity? That's why the Alberta Water Council worked with Greenland Consulting to enhance the Healthy Rivers Ecosystem Assessment System, or THREATS. THREATS is a web-based platform with user-friendly maps and charts that brings together environmental data and analytical tools in one place. Instead of spending time tracking down information from different agencies and databases, municipal officials, First Nations, and water utilities can access purpose-ready data with a few clicks. Here's what THREATS can do. Map your watershed. Identify where your drinking water comes from and what areas drain into it. Analyze land use and environmental releases. See what activities are happening upstream, such as agriculture, industry, urban development, and understand potential impacts. Access water quality data. Pull in real-time and historical water quality information to spot trends or concerns. Assess water quantity. Understand flow patterns, seasonal variations, and how much water is available. All of this information helps make informed decisions about protecting source water without needing a team of specialists or a big budget. Let's hear from some of the experts on their thoughts using THREATS for source water protection planning.
The Alberta Water Council developed a guide to source water protection planning a few years ago that lays out 6 steps that you would need to undertake to develop a plan. And this THREATS tool is really intended to support the risk assessment step of developing a plan. So, identifying what risks there are to your source water and how you might address those. There's a lot of data and information that's collected by this tool that helps support that process.
So having everything in one place is where we're trying to create those bridges by showing people that they can do a lot of different parts of their watershed study in one place. We've tried to build a tour for the system so you can walk through the features, you'll understand all the different modules and then how they work. And then when you go into the modules, you can click on the information button and it'll give you more information on not just how to use the tool, but also what data is included, where does it come from. So there's different resources that are built right into the tool to help users come up to speed on how to use it and where the data is coming from.
It lowers the bar for accessing geographical information. There are going to be a lot of uses from municipalities, First Nations, small utilities as an initial screening tool. They'll be looking at their watershed, trying to identify potential issues, trying to identify things that they want to put more time and effort into exploring and understanding. The real advantage is, right, it pulls all these things together. They don't have to go and try to find them. They can just go on and move around, navigate through this tool and start to get a sense of what's upstream and how that might be affecting the water that they are dealing with. Is when you start down that path to do source water protection, you're not following municipal boundaries, whatever, you're using a hydrological boundary. So all of a sudden you may be required to engage with neighboring municipalities, different industries, whatever. But that gives you the first insight into who that is, and it's easy to pass it off and say, hey, look, we're all in the same watershed. Could we work together on this? Because to do a source water protection plan effectively, you need to get everyone on board. So this, might be an easy way for people to click through and say, okay, yeah, this is where I am in the watershed, and this is the potential risk that our activities pose to the others here. Yeah, we should come together and work on this.
Source water protection doesn't have to be complicated or out of reach. With tools like threats, every drinking water provider, no matter how small, can take meaningful steps to protect their source water for generations to come. Want to learn more? Reach out to the Alberta Water Council, your local watershed planning and advisory council, or Greenland Consulting Engineers to discover how you can register for threats and get started with source water protection today.